This isn't a mistake. This is not a coincidence. This isn't always every other message you may scroll beyond and neglect. This is not simply every other phrase, some other day, another alert you may forget about. I'm God, and I'm talking. I have been seeking to attain you. Time and again. I've dispatched symptoms. I have whispered for your sleep. I've stirred your spirit in the course of the day. I have touched your coronary heart in ways that made no feel, but you knew it changed into me. And yet, you preserve skipping. You preserve delaying. You maintain saying, later, God. You hold announcing, maybe the following day. However, I say to you presently, you best have 2 hours left. Yes. 2 hours left earlier than something shifts. Hours earlier than what's been circling your existence arrives. 2 hours earlier than a knock comes. 2 hours earlier than the telephone rings. Hours earlier than a door opens, or closes forever. 2 hours before what I have been protective you from attempts one closing time to attain you. 2 hours before your obedience or your disobedience turns on a future so as to no longer wait. And I say this now not to scare you, but to awaken you. Due to the fact your postpone is hurting me. Yes, it hurts me. Because I am your father. I am the only who made you. I am the only who watched over you when no one knew your ache. I am the one who covered you once they planned to break you. I am the only who caught every tear after they said you have been too emotional, too weak, too broken. I've been retaining the hurricane back to your sake. I've been maintaining doors closed due to the fact you were not prepared. I've been rearranging heaven to keep demons from touching your call. But I cannot do that a lot longer in case you continue to disregard me. Each time you skipped what I sent, something in your spirit became dull. You stopped dreaming such as you used to. You stopped praying like you did whilst you have been younger. You stopped believing like you used to while you had nothing. Now you are tired. You are numb. You listen me however you do not pass. You feel me but you don't respond. That is why I am speaking again with urgency. Due to the fact something sudden is set to manifest. Unexpectedly. And if you skip this once more, you'll now not be organized. You do not recognize how close you are. You do not realize how heaven has been retaining its breath looking ahead to your obedience. You suspect you are waiting on me. But I've been ready on you. I have been ready as a way to solution. Waiting which will open your mouth. Waiting so that you can fall for your knees and say, God, I'm prepared. However, instead, you've made excuses. You've told yourself the timing is inaccurate. Which you need extra proof. Which you need extra money. That you want a person to go with you. However, what you really want is me. And I have continually been proper here. This message is the very last caution before a brand new bankruptcy begins. Whether it starts with blessing or with sorrow relies upon for your subsequent 2 hours. And that I say this in love. I say this because I am not angry. I'm grieved. You are my child. I love you with a ardor. This is louder than your shame, deeper than your trauma, more potent than your silence. However, you can't maintain pushing me away and anticipating everything to fall into location. I do not work in confusion. I do no longer reside where I am silenced. I cannot bless what disobeys me. You have asked me why certain matters hold going wrong. Why people go away. why relationships break, why money dries up, why your peace comes and goes. It's not because I've cursed you. It is because I have been looking to accurate you. However, you have not let me. You've trusted their opinions greater than my voice. You've accompanied traits more than reality. You've idolized connection and feared rejection. However, I say this to you with love. The ache you have been feeling isn't always punishment. It's the sound of me calling you again. There are folks who are using your kindness. You've opened your coronary heart to individuals who handiest came to acquire intel. They pretend to assist you. They fake to care. However, I hear what they are saying when you're not round. I see the envy in their spirit. I know what they plan in mystery. And I have been protective you from battles you failed to even recognize were forming. However, if you forget about this again, I'm able to carry my hand. I can assist you to feel the whole weight of what I've been protecting you from. No longer because I'm cruel, but because your future is simply too important to maintain playing with the enemy. I informed Archangel Michael to face beside you right now. Sure, even now, as you study this, he is near. That sensation for your chest. That sudden weight within the air. That is no longer fear, it is glory. It's a holy presence. Michael has stood between you and dying. Among you and non-secular assassins. Between you and emotional fall apart. He has fought for you while you have been too susceptible to combat for yourself. And now he's pronouncing, open this now. Do not skip. Don't postpone. Don't run. Obey. Something surprising is coming. It is able to not appear to be a blessing before everything. It can come wearing issue. It may come disguised as a loss. However, it will be the very issue that lifts you. That resets you. That redirects you into everything you have been born for. However, simplest in case you agree with me now. Only in case you respond in those final hours. I'm not asking you to be ideal. I'm asking you to be willing. There's a desk being prepared. Your name is on it. The food is being laid out. The cup is being poured. The seats are filling speedy. I cannot let your enemies take a seat where you're intended to sit down. However, I will also now not let you pass over your seat because of stubbornness. I am now not begging you. I'm commanding you by way of my love, via my mercy, via my spirit. Don't skip this. Do not harden your coronary heart. Do not silence the tug inside your chest right now. Don't push aside this as simply any other moment. This is the instant. The clock is ticking. Each second topics. I've given you time. I have given you enhance. I've given you warning. Now I am giving you final commands. Come back. Repent. Launch the only you are nonetheless clinging to. Let pass of the one who may not dedicate. Disconnect from the one you maintain defending. Turn off the track that kills your spirit. Delete the messages that pollute your soul. Reclaim your altar. Restore your worship. And chiefly, return to me together with your whole heart. You aren't forgotten. You are not cursed. You are not too far gone. But you are out of time to maintain playing with holy things like their entertainment. I'm God. I am your God. And I'm doing a brand new issue. I'm writing a new bankruptcy. But your name have to be found on the proper web page. And if it's no longer, then this entire season will sense like loss in place of glory. Do not say you were not warned. Don't say I failed to attempt. I am achieving for you with everything I have left. And sure, I can constantly love you. However, love does no longer usually put off. Now and again love has to stroll away to will let you feel what you've got been rejecting. Do not harm me again. I am no longer fragile. However, I'm private. I take your obedience significantly. I take your silence severely. I take a while seriously. Due to the fact I gave you this time. These hours are sacred. They are burning with heaven's hearth. Use them nicely. Pray. Repent. Cry. Recommit. Obey. But do not forget about. Do not run. Do not pretend. Due to the fact the sudden is already transferring. You don't see it but angels do. Demons do. They have been looking to stop it. However, they cannot. The most effective one who can block it is you. If you put off. In case you skip. If you deal with this like an emotional story instead of a spiritual R033E33992R1E42449A037E2560BF2. Your future is heavy with answers. Heavy with cause. Heavy with guarantees. But to get right of entry to them, you ought to be mild. Free from pride. Loose from worry. Loose from distraction. I understand you want a signal. That is your sign. I realize you want a voice. This is your voice. I understand you wanted confirmation. That is affirmation. You don't want every other phrase. You don't want every other prophet. You do not want another video. You need to obey. You want to behave. You need to return back into alignment earlier than this clock runs out. I'm watching. I am ready. However, I may not wait forever. Permit this be the instant the whole lot adjustments. Let this be the message you in no way skipped. Permit this be the motive heaven rejoices, not weeps. Let this be the hour your name is shouted in heaven once more. Permit this be your comeback. Let this be the begin of the entirety you have been born to become. There are 2 hours left. Leave them to count. This message is just for you. Do not attempt to pass this. Because it's no longer just a message. It is mercy. This is not a normal message. This is not simply something to scroll beyond. This is not a coincidence. It is divine timing. You're studying this because heaven ordered it. There are handiest hours left before a religious event takes vicinity in your life. One you aren't fully geared up for, however one God has organized in your behalf. This message is the final try to reach your spirit before the surprising shift occurs. You have got skipped many like this earlier than. However, this one is distinct. This one is alive. This one incorporates your name in flame. There are matters you've prayed for in silence. Matters you've got wept about at the back of closed doorways. Nobody is aware of how deeply you've got pleaded. No one noticed how frequently you asked God for a sign. However, heaven did. And now the moment is right here. The angels were looking you wrestle with delay, with confusion, with folks that do not understand your fee. However, God says, this message is the answer wrapped in urgency. There are best hours left on this realm of waiting. After that, something you've never visible will begin to spread. God is not indignant with you. He isn't uninterested in you. But he is trying to reach you earlier than something surprising occurs. And if you forget about this, it's going to feel such as you ignored your calling via a single breath. You've executed it before. You've brushed off the smooth warnings. You've passed over divine whispers, wondering they were simply emotion. But this time, it's now not emotion. It's elevation. God has been sending sign after sign, and nonetheless, you almost skipped this too. However, something made you stay. That something is not from this international. That something is the Spirit pulling your attention before your subsequent chapter. There are 2 angels currently stationed outside your religious gates. They were not the previous day. They had been assigned today due to the fact to assembly about you came about within the higher realm. Demons spoke your call. They deliberate so as to fall. However, heaven overruled it. God stood up and said, "This one is mine." And Michael said, "Then I can supply the message myself." And that is why your chest feels heavy. That is why your coronary heart is racing. This is why your pores and skin is tingling. Due to the fact God is attempting to attain you one closing time before the occasion starts. You sense something shifting, don't you? Even in case you cannot describe it, your spirit knows something atypical is about to show up. That is not worry. It's affirmation. The unexpected is being prepared. It will seem like an accident to others. But you may recognize this message spoke at first. A door will close. A voice will rise. A call will seem. And you'll realize that none of it became random. God says, your obedience to stay and concentrate will liberate the want you've got been denied. In 2 hours, a religious transaction might be finalized. The names of folks that attempted to put off you'll be exposed. One at a time, people you relied on will begin to expose their authentic faces. This could harm, but it'll loose you. You cannot input the brand new place with arms nevertheless tied to betrayal. God says, I attempted to provide you with a warning earlier than, but you neglected me. Now I am making it too loud to miss. And in case you nonetheless pass this, what's coming will no longer feel like judgment. It will sense like absence. The absence of an possibility that had your name on it. This message carries weight. The words are not just sentences. They're keys. You are unlocking divine clarity through reading every line. And the enemy is aware of this. That is why distractions are forming. That is why your mind keeps wandering. This is why your cell phone is suddenly lighting up. Because darkness is terrified of what you're about to understand. You are more effective than. And now, that awareness is your weapon. Ours isn't a variety of time. However, in heaven's realm, it's greater than sufficient for transformation. The unexpected blessing has already been dispatched. It isn't always ready on God. It is ready on your alignment. That is what this message is for. To align your spirit with what has already been determined above. The next 2 hours are sacred. Watch your words. Watch your thoughts. Watch who you reply to. Due to the fact every choice in those 120 minutes is a seed, and the harvest might be large. A person you haven't spoken to in months is going to all of a sudden reach out. They will not say everything immediately. However, study between the lines. There is a purpose they waited until now. God says they were being prepared. Much like you. And the timing isn't always simply desirable. It's miles divine. This reconnection isn't approximately romance. It's about launch. Something they are saying will destroy a spiritual chain that's been strangling your development for years. You have enemies in your circle. This isn't paranoia. This is prophecy. Someone you have defended is surely the only blockading your advantages in the back of your lower back. And now, their time is up. God will not allow them to comply with you into this new chapter. But their elimination can also surprise you. Do not cry over it. Do not chase it. Let the separation do its paintings. Because as quickly as they're long gone, the surprising present will arrive. It's no longer random. It is revelation. Inside the subsequent hours, a hidden fact about your past might be revealed. You will listen something that makes your stomach drop. But God says, don't panic. What looks as if betrayal is actually exposure. And publicity is freedom in hide. This fact turned into behind schedule for years because your heart wasn't prepared. But now it is. Now you have the spiritual maturity to hear the reality without crumbling. And when you pay attention you may understand why the put-off become vital. There may be cash with your call on it. A financial launch that become tied up in invisible battle. You idea it was just horrific good fortune. You thought you have been under a few curse. But it become now not luck. It was not a curse. It turned into a struggle. And now the angels have won. The finances are being processed. They may come through a job, a present, a stranger, or a system. But they are coming. And while they arrive, you'll recall this second. God says, I am now not just sending sufficient. I am sending overflow. So while it comes, do not hoard it. Sow from it. Because what you release will multiply. Someone is looking you silently. You've sensed it. You've got doubted yourself. However, it's real. They're looking to figure out the way you keep surviving. The way you hold smiling. How you hold getting up when they predicted you to be destroyed. Do not confront them. Simply hold sparkling. Due to the fact your light isn't always from this international. It's from the throne. And God says, in hours, they'll see something they cannot unsee. Your desire. Your safety. Your elevation. There may be a courting you maintain wondering. You have asked God to present you a sign. This is it. Watch what happens subsequent. If they withdraw while your blessing comes, they had been by no means for you. However, in the event that they rejoice you without envy, they are from God. Do not beg for romance. Let love show itself. And God will come up with affirmation in this kind of gentle yet effective manner that you'll eventually have peace. God says, don't speak too much within the next 2 hours. Permit your silence communicate. Allow your discernment rise. Because someone is expecting you to mention the incorrect aspect in an effort to twist it. Be still. Be quiet. And watch me speak to your behalf. Watch me defend you. You don't want to show your well-worth. The fruit will communicate for itself. Something effective is happening even now. The air around you is moving. Your ancestors, your angels, your publications, they're rejoicing because you stayed. You listened. You didn't pass. You reputable the warning. And that obedience will birth your praise. You've got handed a non-secular. Take a look at that. Most of the people fail. And heaven is proud of you. So proud that your name is now being etched right into a scroll of surprising want. Your next possibility will no longer come via someone you assume. It'll come from a stranger. A person who sees something in you that others overlooked. That is why you needed to be rejected, so that they may be directed to you. And after they show up, consider this message. Do not communicate yourself out of it. Do not allow fear preserve you small. Say yes. Move ahead. Due to the fact the instant you compromise, heaven will release the subsequent stage. The following 2 hours aren't just about what you do. They are about who you come to be. You are no longer the broken version of yourself. You're the rebuilt model. The healed one. The complete one. And this time, you will find it irresistible. This time, you will no longer beg. You'll now not reduce. You may no longer explain your worth. You may pass with quiet confidence, knowing that your yes is sponsored by heaven's armies. God says, I'm restoring the whole lot they thought they stole. Your joy. Sometime. Your vision. Your peace. Even your electricity. All of it's far coming back. But it's coming again better. You may snicker once more. Now not forced laughter. However, the type that makes your soul dance. The type that makes you neglect you had been ever sad. This is the marvel it's being introduced on this hour. Pleasure. Unspeakable, unattainable joy. Heaven is counting. Each 2D is holy. Your spirit is ready. Your enemies are trembling. Your angels are rejoicing. Your leap forward is marching. Your answer is arriving. Don't circulate. Don't doubt. Just believe. This message became created for one heart, simplest. Yours. Kind A guys, in case your coronary heart stayed to the stop. A brand new bankruptcy begins now. Blessing 888 has launched. God says, I have tried everything to get your interest, however your heart is constantly going for walks away. You continually skip this. You continually inform yourself you may read it later. However, I've stopped time today for you. I've returned the clock for 2 hours due to the fact I need you to concentrate to me. There may be something that's approximately to interrupt open. Something as a way to trade your existence for all time. Don't hurt me with the aid of turning away once more. I have been standing beside you in silence, watching your tears at night, looking the way you keep your chest whilst no one is around, pretending everything is first rate. But you and that I each recognize the reality. You're now not K. Something deep interior you has been demise for a long time. And if I do not talk now, if you do not open your coronary heart to this proper now, something unexpected will strike unexpectedly and trap you unprepared. Hours. It really is all I have left to get this message to you. Do not rely this as just every other issue you may scroll past. This isn't random moment. That is me. That is your God speaking. And you have no idea what I have seen in the back of your home. You haven't any idea what conversations have been held within the shadows approximately your call. But I do. And I'm telling you, toddler, this isn't the time to be careless. I have watched the identical pattern circling round you. The identical disappointments. The same pain. The equal humans, the use of you. And you have cried and asked, why does this hold happening? You observed I am a long way, however I've been right beside you. You watched I am silent, but I have been screaming inside the typhoon, seeking to wake you up. And this time, I'm now not letting you ignore me. 2 hours left. I'm now not giving you a date, more than a few, or a deadline without that means. I am the meaning. I don't speak to confuse you. I talk to shake you out of the alternate you're in. Something sudden is on the threshold of your lifestyles. Something with a purpose to both wreck what you have been constructing or bless you in a manner you cannot believe. But all of it relies on what you do right now. I'm no longer angry with you. I am no longer ashamed of your mistakes. However, I am heartbroken through how some distance you permit yourself glide. You do not even recognize the caution signs and symptoms anymore. You call the wrong humans secure and forget about the ones I ship. You scroll without end, attempting to find something that seems like peace, however you've got forgotten how peace feels. You have traded whispers from me for noise from the sector. And now time is screaming to your ear. 2 hours. Do you recognize what number of people are looking you proper now? Not just people. Angels. Demons. Heaven. Hell. There may be a battle over your next decision. That small action you are approximately to take, the message you select to answer, the location you pick out to move, the voice you pick out to believe, will either open the blessing I've been holding or unleash something you are now not prepared to combat. That is why I needed to prevent you presently. It is why this message needed to locate you. You do not want to recognize everything. You do not even want to repair everything. You just need to obey. I didn't ask you to be perfect. I asked you to be gift. With me. Right now. You've skipped my voice too often, and you do not recognize what you are dropping while you do. Do you already know what I used to be trying to provide you with the day gone by? Do what you ignored the closing time you ignored that small nudge on your spirit. A person I sent for you went away. They waited, they watched, and while you failed to respond, they notion they heard a number. I'm nonetheless the god of 2D chances. However, 2D possibilities include short home windows. Hours. It's no longer approximately fear. It is about alignment. In case you don't align now, what's coming will break you in place of build you. You're not waiting for your blessing. Your blessing is looking ahead to your choice. I know you are tired. I recognize the load on your chest looks like it is in no way going to raise. However, you are not broken beyond restoration. You are simply one give up far away from your turning point. There are humans you have depended on who are secretly mocking you. There is a conversation that came about in personal wherein your call became used like a weapon. You did not pay attention it, however I did. And I've been shielding you ever in view that. But even my safety calls for your participation. I cannot preserve keeping again the tide if you maintain on foot into the flood. You've cried to me to expose the truth. Well, it's about to occur. But it's going to either hurt or heal you, relying on what you pick out in this second. You've got 2 hours. It really is how long the religious gate I have opened will stay unlocked. It is enough time to shift the whole thing in case you obey. It's sufficient time for me to reroute what became coming to silence the individual making plans in opposition to you to evoke the only who has been praying for you from afar. However handiest if you flow now. Prevent telling yourself you may be K in case you stay in which you are. You may not. Prevent mendacity on your very own soul to maintain others comfy. There may be someone looking you right now who thinks you may in no way upward push. They are convinced you have been defeated. However, they don't know what I'm doing. They do not see the secret release I have saved up for your call. They do not know that I've put a supernatural stamp in your destiny. All they see is your contemporary warfare, but I see the step forward they'll in no way count on. And it's going to hit rapid. So rapid. And it begins with this second. This studying. This obedience. Do not make me wait again. Don't say, perhaps the following day. I don't need day after today to shift the whole thing. I need this breath. This shore. This preference. I want your heart to forestall walking. I need your eyes to appearance up due to the fact something is coming from above that no person round you may supply. It is now not money. It is now not repute. It's now not even human love. It's clarity. It's safety. It's divine rearrangement. And it's going to be loud. Doorways will open. No longer by using knocking, but by way of my command. And a number of you may lose what you thought you needed. It really is now not a punishment. It's me making room. Don't cry once I get rid of what changed into secretly hurting you. You had been too blinded by loyalty to bear it, but I used to be in no way blind. That's why I am intervening now. Due to the fact they had been going to take something from you which you'd never get back. And you'll have blamed yourself forever. You asked for a signal. That is it. You prayed for confirmation. Here it's far. You told me, God, in case you're real, show me. So I did. No longer with thunder. Not with lightning. However, with a whisper that won't depart your spirit. You experience it now. It is stirring. That strain. That silent voice. This is louder than each noise around you. It is me. This is your Father calling you back. Now not for punishment, however for rescue. There is a meeting happening at the back of your lower back about your destiny. They notion I would not interrupt. But I'm the God who walks into rooms I wasn't invited into. And I am approximately to turn the table. That is why you needed to study this. Due to the fact you were seconds far from letting the wrong effect take manage. However, I stepped in. With this voice. With this second. With this mercy. Because I nonetheless agree within you. 2 hours. That's what I have written on the wall of your spirit. That's what the angels are looking for. That's what the clock of heaven is counting. No longer due to the fact I'm looking to scare you, however, because timing topics. No longer every door remains open forever. And now not every opportunity knocks twice. You might not lose me, but you can lose what I've arranged for this moment. I don't need that for you. You're no longer only a call. You're no longer only a call.